position. But with the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 here, this does scare Team 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 back. With all this firepower, things can definitely go in favor of 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 if they don't take care of how they fight. And they actually managed to pull back that Dragon Knight. He will go back to safety, and 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 dropping a little bit too low. Almost getting caught. He will be eliminated by that 𝗵𝗏. And now we get the full evolution for that Blastoise.
Yeah, and of course, all of this continues as we do see the team members from Team 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 trying to take down this Reggie. Like, I believe that there will be no commitments coming up from the side of 𝗵𝗏𝗏 as they're trying to shift their focus towards the Reggie happening off at the bottom lane. But even with that, also, there's not much going on there as well. It's only going to be the crossel together with this. Oh, it does seem like it's going to be the crossel together with Intellion over here. Dragon Knight trying to put a little bit of pressure, but unfortunately, the surf ride coming on from that will not be able to actually connect in time to actually secure that Reggie for the side of 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏. Meanwhile, the top lane, things are looking quite a party over here on their side of 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 from Thailand as they're putting a little bit of pressure on the top goalpost. Meanwhile, it's going to be Blastoise together. Intellion, we're not able to stop this assault coming on from their opponents trying to destroy the goal.
The hyperspace hole just then. So great stuff here from 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏, but I will say they are behind in levels. They do only have a level advantage on that 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 and maybe that 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, but the rest of the team is trailing 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏. I hope this team is keeping up with their macro at some point. They got to think about things. I have to say, by the way, we've got Stealth Rock coming in for that Crustal. That was definitely a bit of a surprise. And the Intellion knocks out that 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, and now we're going to be seeing a big push coming in from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 wanting to break that goal zone. It's just the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 and the Slowbro. They catch out the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏, just walks out of there, out of range. No snipe shots for you. But the goal zone is broken. Mission successful.
Quite a commitment over there, but quite unfortunately, they were not able to actually catch that 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 on the back line as well. They did try to actually trap him, but he was still able to actually make an escape over here. Of course, this charge coming up from 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 as well. They managed to actually secure Intellion coming up from the back line as well. They believe that this Blastoise is being sandwiched into 2 Pokemon from the side of 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏. He will not be making his escape in any way. That's going to be a 2 Pokemon down on the side of Team 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 here on the wild Pokemon area. A little bit of a overextension, I would say.
A bit scrappy. I'm actually quite surprised that they decided to go for the 2-man route.
Edge at the bottom lane for a second time over here, but we do see some rotations happening here coming up from the side of 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏, trying to clear out this Tyler family on the bottom lane. And of course, rotations together with assistance from the 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏. Intellion managed to snipe up that Slowbro from all the way downtown and going for a little bit chase. Meanwhile, on back end, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 trying to do a little bit dunking on this Dragon Knight. Probably a little bit too much to chew. Commits with the Unite as well and will be cleared out instead.
Unfortunately, so maybe for 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏, the play here is that we're going to focus on our cores. They're going to start this fight here, trying to go for that KO. This Crustal is tanky. He's one of the tankiest Pokemon in the game, and they will get it, thankfully, unpunished. And 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 are just going to back out instead.
Yeah, but all those experience is still insufficient to actually bring that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 together with the Slowbro up into level 11, at least at this point in the game, so they can actually have a really nice entry into that Rayquaza attempt later on as well. And this time, after getting themselves with that Crustal, they were able to get themselves with 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 as well, committing Unite over here, coming from Intellion as well, being sniped off on that Buzzwole, going for chase together with the Hydro Typhoon as well, committing on the top side. We do see this Dragon Knight going off for the chase, and unfortunately, the damage up was still insufficient to actually clear him out as well, and the chase still continues here, blocking out on the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏's path from escaping. Does not have any form of escape on his own at this current moment, and look at this, Danny. Team 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 looking fresh while still 13 seconds on the clock here for the side of 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏's 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃.
Melon pulling off some fantastic rock chains for the team. Triple trample coming in though, but it looks like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 may have been caught trying to go for that Intellion in the back lines, and he will actually get him. Intellion is gone for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏, trying to go for another one. Dragon Knight's been picked off as well. 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 turning things around, even though 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 had a fantastic fight leading up to the 2-minute mark. They've used a lot of their Unites already.
Yeah, the only ones available right now is going to be that Dragon Knight. Only one that can actually rely on the Unite move, and the opponent themselves, they are having a 4v5 situation for a moment. It's out. Who's going to be getting the secure here? It is going to be 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏. They do have the buff at this current moment, and they are currently leading into some points, and this could be a huge opportunity for them to actually dunk it in some points. Meanwhile, Team 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏, they're struggling at the current moment. They need to find an opening for them to actually do some scoring of their own. And while all this is happening here at the bottom lane and the top lane as well, we do see the 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 being a little bit cheeky, decides to actually go back to the Pokemon Center. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, they manage to secure on the Intellion, going on for more. This time, going to be in our front line, going to be Blastoise, grab up the berry. Chasing going to be more. Moonlight there, looking for on the back end. Now all this surf ride from the Blastoise, but still not enough damage to clear out on the Buzzwole.
Typhoon connecting onto 3. Is this going to be enough? They will get the knockout onto 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 is gone. And even though they have the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏, the healing is just not enough from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 gets set back to base by a big hydro pump and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 true gravity fashion managed to win the game after sniping 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's Rayquaza and defending their goal zones with their point lead.
No goals, no points being scored after that Rayquaza gets knocked in, but just solid defense coming on from Team 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏 over here in this game number 1, Danny. That was insane. And of course, do you want to highlight that if you guys pay close attention to the Rayquaza attack, even before Rayquaza actually appears on the map itself, we do believe that team fight has begun. They've already committed the Unite, starting off with Intellion there in the back end. I believe they knew that at that moment that would be the best time for them to just commit and just completely wipe out all these assaults coming out from 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏. So
It It was a great game. I have to say, 𝗃𝗏𝗵𝗵, they did really well dealing with a lot of that early game aggression coming in from 𝗵𝗏𝗏. 𝗵𝗏𝗏 drafted a very fast-paced lineup. They had 𝗃𝗏𝗏, they had 𝗏𝗏𝗏, they had 𝗏𝗲𝗏, 3 very strong and very early activated cores that can apply pressure from the get-go, even though they have 3 two-stage evolutionary Pokemon in Inteleon, Dragonite, and that Blastoise. 𝗃𝗏𝗵𝗵 stood their ground during the laning stage, were able to get a couple of counter knockouts, and most importantly, throughout their game, they did a really great job at keeping up in those levels, always getting all of that leveling up experience, because I noticed something with 𝗵𝗏𝗏. In all this aggression, 𝗵𝗏𝗏 did kind of lose sight in that experience race. They weren't really sending anyone back to farm any of those while hoping that they would get their levels with constant back-to-back knockouts, and that just wasn't happening. And as they were falling behind in those levels, they did catch up eventually. But I feel
𝗵𝗏𝗏, they definitely have a more dominant stance here in this game, and we're just moments away before 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 actually appears here at the 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏 in the central area, and everybody's raring to go, getting in positions. It may look like Team 𝗵𝗏𝗏 is actually doing exceptionally well here in this game, but if you look at levels, we have 3 Pokemons here on side Team 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏. We have the Metagross, we have the 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 together with Espeon at level 13, whereas 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏, they only have Lucario to offer at level 13 at this current moment.
it's the same thing as last game. So again, 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, you have to give them props of being able to keep up in that macro game. They're ensuring that they're getting those key levels on their key Pokemon. They know that Espeon, Metagross, and that 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 will play major roles in being able to get those knockouts. And in particular, for the Metagross, he needs to be big enough to be able to set up and not get deleted in these immediate fights. He's going to try and look for his Unite move, but the question is it going to connect on the person that he wants it to connect on? Dragonite still in that top lane, Psychic still being used, Bliss Assist as well. Lots of health being drained on that Trevenant. Unites as well. He managed to get the heal back up. Lucario going down, but 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 is also taken down on the side of 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's a 1-to-1 trade so far, but a lot of Unites have already been committed by both sides. The only Unite left is actually on that 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁 because he was the first Pokemon KO'd.
Yeah, he was not able to actually utilize Pokemon himself, so basically in this next encounter in between these 2 amazing teams, 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Team 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏, he's going to be the only one with the Unite, and of course it is going to be defense from Team 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 and offense with Team 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏. They need to poke this 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏. This could be the option for them to actually snap it for themselves and actually go in for a little bit of scoring to make a win for them.
Dragonite, got to be so careful being pursued by 2 Pokemon.
But he's luring 3 Pokemons away from Team 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏 all the way to top side.
He might be luring them away, and 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 looking to go for some backcasts, but because of this, 2 Pokemon are here. Is it time to rip for 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏? It looks like there is no one is here for 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. They're just going to go. They're just going to go for a race. But can they afford to race? Dragonite has been knocked out. If you're 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, you've got to go on defense. They're scoring in the base here, but 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they're starting to score 277 to 595. If Pokemon get knocked out, they're going to drop points as well. Not as yet. Be careful of those buffs. It's an attack buff as well as a score shield for 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Pokemon are going down. Points are on the floor. Can they score those points? 25 points, a 100-point dunk from that Slowbro. 595 to 487.
108 more to go. Over here, do they have the points right now to actually go for even scoring? They don't have enough, Danny. 90+7. They need at least 54 points here in hand to make an equalizer. And I believe that time is not on their side. And even the points are also not in their grasp. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, in a few short moments, we're going to be...
14 points were deployed, yeah. So I think that might have been it here. Oh my goodness, what a play. The score will finally be calculated here, folks. But as you can see, 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 going to win the set with 595 points.
Great mathing. I mean, they must have, we would assume they did some calculations. Hey, I think we're okay. Let's just go for the scores. Let's let go of 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
They have a Hooper.
Yeah, they have a Hooper.
Hooper enables them to do this. And they also had that Dragonite if they really needed to, but they really mapped it out.
They mapped it out, yeah. It's either that or they were just scrambling around. But it worked. It worked. The most important part is it worked for them. And 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 wins this game number 2. And you know what that means, Danny.
Game number 3.
Game number 3. Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited. We're getting a game 3. I was a little bit worried this could have been a 2-0 situation, but 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they both want to make it through that lower bracket run. They want that match, whether we want it or not. They want that match against Uniteholic. They want to beat them down and they want to continue on through that lower bracket. If there's one thing teams need to be able to perform at such a high level in a lower bracket, there's this thing called hope. If somebody has hope, anything can happen.
Oh yeah, I truly believe so as well, that this game definitely shows it. Now, of course, still not a positive outcome here from that pick with Metagross. Still looking for that win. I think...
I don't think I was a fan of Metagross this game, to be completely honest.
I didn't see the fit into it.
Well,
I mean...
I kind of could. So Duck's role, essentially, Duck is the top laner for the team, so his role is pretty similar to that of I guess a Blastoise or a Buzzball. He's supposed to be an initiator for the team. He's also quite tanky because Metagross can generate a lot of self-shields. He's supposed to be self-sustainable. The only issue is that I feel to try and play Metagross in that style, you're probably better off picking a whole bunch of other Pokemon that come online, are much easier to execute, and aren't so punishable in that early game. Because Beldum and Metang, they're very punishable Pokemon.
Oh yeah, and it's shown here in this game.
We did see it.
I mean, 𝗚𝗏𝗏 was taking advantage.
Threaten a Zoro if he gets his hands anywhere near him, so you have to be super careful. 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗁's here as well, just going to go in the opposite direction. Vulcan trying to draw them away from his teammate. Here we go. Buzzball's still there, still trying to take those wild Pokemon.
Both of them misses each other.
Okay, Duck, he does manage to get the throw there, and they actually managed to catch out the Zoroark and the Comfey. This was the thing I was worried about, Flavor. I said from the get-go, there are a lot of options for True Gravity to catch out a Zoro, and 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏 just did not respect it.
I think that he didn't actually have a plan in hand because he was just running out together with the Comfey, and even with the Blastoise over there, there's not enough cover for him. Meanwhile, he didn't anticipate there's going to be a two-man rotation to the Comfey, making it a 4v2 situation, or should I say 4v3 if he continues together with the Comfey, put him at a huge advantage, and with the catching ability you highlighted as well. It was an expected outcome, or should I say the worst possible scenario outcome for him to actually happen, especially when you're running mid and you're getting caught off by someone who's actually plays top.
In scenario, True Gravity, they've got a well-rounded comp. They've got Pokemon that can frontline. They've got their damage dealers in the back as well. They have somebody that's going to be able to provide those heals. They do have the Emerald two-step. It does not get the KO onto that Blastoise. They do finally pop that Hydro Typhoon, but everyone just leaves. They don't care at all. So there's no more counter initiation. True Gravity say this is time to go. We get the Blastoise. We want the Lapras as well. And we have the Mammoth to push him back. They don't quite get him, throws him back, and they will finally get both of the defenders. Took a while for Lapras. Zoro, in the meantime, he ran up top lane to get those points scored, but that's it. You don't really get anything else out of this team fight.
I believe that's not what you expect from a Zoroark in any way, especially when you have a Comfey latched onto you. The Comfey is like following you, like we need to do something.
Ethan might even get the Steel Solar Blade. Doesn't get it. Perfect timing.
Okay, so at least he can actually manage to secure the Reggie here at the top lane. But while all this is happening, Team True Gravity is widening up the gap even more for their side at this current moment. And of course, we do see the Glaceon there securing this Reggie Rock for the team, which means that they have additional defense as well as special defense here for the game. This is not the in or nothing here for the side of Fever. There's no way they're going to do any form of back cap to do any form of scoring. It has to be here. It has to be done here at the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 pit, Danny.
Yeah, I've just got to watch Melon. Melon's going to play a big role for the team with those initiations on that Mammoth Swine. Going to be healed up by the 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏 as well, paired up with Vulcan. So, 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, what is the game plan here? Leafeon is in that bottom lane protecting that top goal zone. Glaceon is up in the top lane protecting the goal zone. So no open goal zones for 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to get those sneaky scores. It might have to come down to the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 or just hoping that the Leafeon abandons the lane. Coming in from the bottom side of the bush, they managed to catch out that Blastoise. 3-man Typhoon. Team's coming in. Can they finish them up before the rest of the evolutions come in? They do get one so far, and it's going to be the support. So no more Moonlight, but here comes the Leafeon wanting to delete the Blastoise. Emerald two-step committed. It's 1-1 so far. Support for Defender, but it's not over as of yet. They're still looking to fight. Very low on that Buzzball. Actually going to teleport home and go back for a base heal. No. Duck is sticking around. He wants to fight. He wants Mark God. Can he get him? Solar Blade being charged up, wanting to connect. They will finally come in with Melon on that Mammoth Swine. They don't actually get them with the connection on those basic attacks. They do freeze that Lapras. Lapras is down. One of the defenders are gone. Blastoise is coming back, but there's no frontliner, and it's going to go towards the True Gravity. It's going to be the Rayquaza's shield. Oh my goodness, that was a very long fight, but 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they just couldn't find that opening. They couldn't break them apart. They couldn't force those premature unites. True Gravity going to continue to represent India in the Pokemon Unite Asia Champions League 2024.
Yeah, they had a great idea how they approached that Rayquaza pit because they knew that at that point, the moment they cleared out at least 2 of the Pokemons on the side of Team 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they didn't have to pay attention to Rayquaza. Even if 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 does secure Rayquaza, they were actually low in HP. They had no ability to actually do any form of scoring. If they catch out yet another one, even if they had double 100 points being scored, it will not be enough to actually overtake what Team True Gravity has offered here for this game number 3. Now, here you have, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the series. Your champions here from the India Regional Qualifiers. Team True Gravity making a win in this best of 3 series, 2-1 up against their opponents, Team 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, the champions of the Thailand Open Qualifiers.
Oh man, it's so sad to see 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 dropping out of the competition. I mean, they did the very best that they could have, and they even picked their iconic Pokemon in that final matchup. It just wasn't enough. The stars didn't align. They just did not find that opening. Props to Team True Gravity. I feel like their positioning when these team fights happened, they never spread far apart enough for Mark God to get on top of somebody, but they never stuck around so close together that there was going to be a multi-man Blastoise Unite, a multi-man Lapras Unite. It was a really, really difficult game for 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to just get their moves to connect together. So moving on, Team 𝗘𝗵𝗴𝗵𝗵, their next opponent is going to be 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Oh, yes.
And that's a matchup that I don't think anyone envies. But I kind of think, maybe it's not a popular opinion, I actually think 𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗏 is going to give 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 a run for their money, and maybe, just maybe, could surprise them and take the series.
But it's kind of tough, because we're looking at Team 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. They did put a little bit pressure on the opponents in the upper bracket, which was Talon. Are they really able to? Because 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 did have a really good run in the upper bracket. Quite unfortunate for them, they did get dropped there in the semifinals. Yeah, and looking at their run, it's kind of tough. I mean, like, Team 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 didn't really had like a really convincing win against 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 here at the lower bracket itself.
Always against them.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, I do believe that results-wise, I think MYS has it slightly better compared to what Rise has to offer in a competitive scene. But with this given format, I am very curious on what they will bring to the table, because back then, draft is a little bit different, but now with the format given here for the finals, first game draft, but at second and third, it's going to be different altogether. Now, you don't have to worry about going up against...
Crazy. Very crazy.
Very crazy. Now, you don't have to worry so much about going up against multiple Mews from the opponent's side. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is the updated bracket. Specifically on lower bracket, the reason is because all the matches today will be all the lower bracket matches, and of course, then they will be winning the grand finals. And after the conclusion of that match between Team 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 up against 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Team 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 makes it to the next round. They'll be going up against Team 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 later on at the lower bracket quarterfinals 2. And of course, later on, we'll also be witnessing, before all that, we'll be witnessing the match between Team Rise, the Indonesian champions, up against representative from Malaysia, Singapore, which is Team MYS.
Going to be a very exciting one coming up next, but I'm not sure if we're going to be getting an interview with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. We should be getting it in a moment. Really excited to see what their players have to say on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, being able to win this set and to continue on in their journey through the tournament. I want to hear their thoughts going up against 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I want to hear their thoughts about the food in Thailand.
That it could be anyone right now. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue on with that match itself, we're going to be passing over to our host on the main stage for the interview segment.
ผู้ชนะนักกีฬาจาก𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏คุณ𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 นั่นเอง the next round โอเคนะครับ
And now we are with the winner of the last match between 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 representative from Thailand and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 representative from India, and this is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 with me. May I have a big round of applause?
ครับขอเสียงปรบมือให้𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 ด้วยครับวินเนอร์ของเรานะครับสุดยอดมากจาก𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 นะครับผมเริ่มเลยจากคำถามแรกครับในแมตช์ที่ผ่านมาเจอกับ𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 นะโอ้โหก็รู้สึกยังไงเขาพูดถึงความรู้สึกของเขานิดนึงครับหลังจากจบแมตช์
Okay, so first of all, I have to say congratulations to you. And the first question I would like to ask, how you feel about the last battle with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏? Was it difficult, or you have any confidence after winning them, or whatever you want to say?
I think the match was pretty easy for us, but because of the tournament pressure, we are playing a little bit sad. But I think winning this match has given us a lot of confidence, and we think we will perform better from now on. We need that boost. We needed that boost playing one match. We need one win, like, yeah.
โอเคเขาบอกว่าก็ไม่ยากเท่าไหร่นะครับรู้สึกว่าผ่านมาไม่ยากมากนักแล้วก็หวังว่ามันจะเป็นสิ่งที่ทำให้เขาได้ความมั่นใจเพิ่มขึ้นหลังจากนี้เพราะของจริงอยู่หลังจากนี้
โอเคค่ะ
นะครับผมแล้วก็คำถามที่2นะครับในรอบถัดไปโอ้โหต้องบอกว่าเขาต้องไปเจอของแข็งเหมือนกันนั่นคือ𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 นะครับจากประเทศญี่ปุ่นเป็นไงฮะมีอะไรจะบอก𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 ไหม
โอเคนะคะเป็นคำถามที่อยากฟังมากเหมือนกันนะคะ so the next question we would like to ask, because the next battle you will have to be in a competition with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which is very well known for the performance. What do you feel about going in the battle with them? Are you feeling confident?
I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is we are excited to play against 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, especially 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Wafu. They are very great players, especially 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. We are excited to play against them in like international stage, and we'll beat them.
Do you want anything? Do you want to say anything to them?
Best of luck, guys. We are going to flip the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Don't bring 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 against us. We'll win.
โอ้โหผมเหมือนกันนะ
ก็จะมั่นใจนะครับฝากถึงทางตัวของทีม𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 เรียบร้อยว่าเป็นทีมที่แข็งแกร่งแหละนะครับแต่พวกเขาก็จะทำเต็มที่นะครับผมแล้วก็ต้องบอกว่ามีอะไรจะฝากบอกถึงแฟนๆไหมกับครอบครัวกับเพื่อนๆที่ซัพพอร์ตเขาถึงตรงนี้ครับ
โอเคค่ะ so the last thing I would like you to share something, or if you want to say something for your fans, your family, your friends that has been supporting for you from the first day until now.
Yeah, all the people from India who are doing the watch party on the YouTube, cheer for us. We'll do better. We'll secure a good spot. And to my family, cheer for us. Thank you.
โอเคค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ big round of applause ขอเสียงปรบมือด้วยนะคะ
ขอบคุณครับ thank you
thank you อาคุณนะคะ
ใช่ก็เมื่อกี้ก็ฝากบอกขอบคุณนะครับแฟนที่อินเดียนะครับว่าพวกเขาจะทำให้เต็มที่